So, one thing you want to remember, anytime that you are doing any kind of class, no matter if it's some type of aerobic class or cardio kickboxing or sports conditioning class, you always want to remember your base. Your base is the bottom half of your body from your waist down, which means your legs and your butt, and also the positions of your feet, all right? So let's go over the base. The first thing I want you guys to understand is always start with your knees slightly bent. No matter what you're doing, knees slightly bent. You don't want to stand tall with your knees locked because you put yourself in a position where you cannot move around efficiently. You move around like Frankenstein, right? If you're gonna have a race with Frankenstein, you're gonna win because you're picking your legs up, you are bending your joints, your knees, and you're able to move a lot more efficiently and quicker. So always remember, start the base first. And starting with the stance, let's go with the boxer stance. So, if you are a right hand person, you're always gonna put your left foot forward, all right, when you're throwing a punch. With the jab, always left foot forward. Okay, now, that right foot is gonna be right behind you. What's the distance in between the space here? The difference is going to be where you find your comfort level to be. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, you don't want to have your right foot too close, and you don't want to have it too far back. You want to find a happy medium where you can feel the balance of the ball of your feet and your heels, and you can kind of feel control here, all right? So, again, we're going to start with the jab. Now, with the jab, let's go ahead and align our feet now. Now, that left foot should be aligned in about a 1 o'clock position. That right leg behind you should be aligned at about a 3 o'clock position. You're going to pull up your fists. You're going to put them close to your cheeks, just like so. Just like you're doing almost like a peekaboo. You're going to make sure your knees are slightly bent, all right, so that you can have the leverage and you can have the efficiency throwing the punch. Now, your elbow is going to be pointed down at the ground here, both elbows down at the ground, so that you can elevate your shoulder and throw the jab. So here's how it's going to go. The left jab is called the #1 by boxers. Extend out, pull back in, extend out, pull back in. Now as you're extending out in a straight line here, you want to make sure your knuckles are pointed forward and your fingernails are pointed down, all right? Now you want to extend out and pull in, extend out and pull in. Now, I don't want you to simply just throw your arms out like this. That's not it. Again, we're simulating boxing here. We're not doing aerobic class where you're gonna be doing punches like this. We're not doing that. We're simulating boxing for a high level of aerobic and anaerobic conditioning. So, go in a peekaboo style, make sure your knees are slightly bent, make sure your feet are lined up here, and throw that punch here, extend back. Throw the punch here, extend back to the boxer stance. The boxer stance is where you're basically hiding from a punch if someone's trying to hit you. Extend back. Now, let me show you what that's going to look like, okay? Let me turn over here. Now, you're going to extend out, forward, come back. Extend out, forward, come back. We're going in slow motion here. Now, let me show you something. Let me explain something to you. What I don't want you to do is overextend your elbow, where you're locking the elbow. Do not do that because you're risking creating tendonitis in your elbows and creating a little nagging injury that is very uncomfortable no matter what you're doing. So what I want you to do, extend out, stop about 1 inch away from overextension, and then pull back in to the boxer stance. Extend out, pull back in, extend out, pull back in to the boxer stance. So let me show you how to go ahead and execute this. So right now we're going with the technique, knuckles forward, fingernails down, and we're coming back to the boxer stance. Left jab, boxer stance. Left jab, boxer stance. Now, let's go ahead and speed that up. Pop, 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 pop. So see what you're doing here? You're recoiling. You're pop, pop. But I'm stopping short, okay, of overextended, okay? And I want this action going on when we're doing the class. Pop, pop. Now give me 4 more. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that was the jab. That was the left jab. Now, if you're left-handed, you're gonna be doing a right jab. Okay, now next is gonna be the cross. What boxers call the cross, okay? So again, if you are right-handed, Your jab is coming from the left. Your cross back here, which is the number 2, is coming from what they call the power side. So it's going to go like so. Get in your boxer stance, lightly bend your knees, extend out, pull back in. Extend out, pull back in. Extend out, pull back in. Extend out, back to the peekaboo. Extend out, back to the peekaboo. Don't overextend your shoulder. Don't overextend your elbow. Just like so. Now let me show you what the beauty of that is all about here. Now, when you're doing the power punch, okay, extending out, check out my leg. Check out my glutes. It's working. That's where the shape and tone is going to come from. That's where the high level calorie burning and fat burning is coming from, because you're utilizing your entire body. Your abs, your core is tight, and your entire body has to exert that force and do the movement. So that movement there is called the power punch, which is called the cross by boxers, also, called the number 2. So it's the jab, cross, 1, 2, 1, 2. So let's do that a little bit quicker, the power punch, okay? Pop, back, pop, back, pop, back to the peekaboo, pop, back to the peekaboo, pop, back to the peekaboo. Okay, so check this out though. Rotate that leg behind you so that you can work the glutes and tighten up that butt. Work it. Pop, back, pop, back, pop, back. Knee slightly bent. Pop, back, pop, back, pop, back. That's the number 2, known as the cross, the power punch, and you can see how it affects your lower body. It's going to shape and tone your lower body. It's going to burn more calories, burn more fat, get you at a higher level of fitness. Now, let's combine those 2 movements together so you can see what they look like. In the peekaboo stance, jab, power punch, jab, cross, jab, number 2, 1, and 2. Now let's speed that up. Pop, 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 pop. Let's go forward. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do it from the side. Watch the action here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Number 1, number 2, number 1, number 2. Jab, cross, cross. There you go. The jab and the cross, the number 1, number 2, and the power punch. That's going to shape and tone that body, the glutes, your legs, and also put you in position to burn more calories, burn more fat, and be more conditioned. Let's go to the next 2 drills. The uppercut and the hook. We'll talk to you in a little bit.